Hello everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are making set number 6 from Sam's March anniversary bead box. So 5 sets already I've made out of this box. That is including a necklace, bracelet, and earrings. So 5 sets of 3 pieces each, and today we're working on set number 6. So our encouraging word for today is shine bright. Let your light shine. Okay, now, let's see. This one looks more complex than it is, I promise. I've just kind of laid everything out here. You're going to need some eye pins. You are going to need some jump rings. I'm using some rose gold with this just because it brightens it up a little, and I just like the way it looked. So you're going to need some jump rings. These are 8mm. You don't have to use 8mm. You can use whatever you want. And then you're going to need some eye pins. You're going to need, actually, these jump rings, you are probably going to need 8mm or bigger, actually, because we're going to be linking these together. And actually, I'm not sure if my 8mm are going to work. I may have to pull out a little bit bigger ones. Let me scoot this a second. Oh, there they are. Couldn't find my jump rings. I do have some bigger ones. It looks like I have some 10mm here, so we may end up having to use those. We'll see. I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see. Okay, so I've got some rings here. You can use any rings you have. You don't even have to use rings if you want. You can just make links. You know, whatever you want to do, but I'm using these rings. I just kind of like the way this looks. It gives it more like a statement effect, and we're going to be using them for the earrings, the bracelet, and the necklace. Okay, you're going to need a lobster clasp and a clasp for it to hook onto. You're also going to need a lobster for your bracelet and a clasp for it to hook onto. I'm going to be using these brown lava beads that were in the box. All of these leaves here, and I had one of these left over, so I'm going to use it, and a bunch of the little tiny fire polish beads. And then I just have some small bead caps in a rose gold that I'm going to use. I have lever back ear wires for the earrings. And is that it? And some chain. Some chain here. And I also have these bead caps, but I'm not sure I will use them, but I might. I don't know, just depending. So we'll see. But anyway, I think that's pretty much all you're going to need. So grab your stuff together and we're going to get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our eye pins. Let me scoot this stuff over for a minute. And we're going to make our little links here. So what I'm wanting to do with these links is just make them look like little falling leaves. So I'm going to put this little small bead on here, one of my leaf beads. Now you can face these leaf beads however you want to. They do, you know, can have different direction here depending on which side you put them on. I kind of want them to be on this more transparent side. I just like that. So let me see if I trade this one with this one. So let's try this. So I'm gonna, excuse me, my allergies are acting up today. So this is what I'm gonna do. Actually, I'm gonna do it this way. Yeah, okay. Now, these will flip around unless you make your next loop very tight. And if you make it tight enough, then they kind of stay like they are right here. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I am going to bend this 90 degrees right at the top of the bead. I want this to be pretty tight. Now, another way to get it tight is to make a wrapped loop. But I don't really want to do that on this one because I'm going to be hooking them together, and I don't know, I just didn't really want to do a wrap loop. I want to keep it consistent. So I'm going to trim this off a little less than half my finger's width, and that is going to make it to where when I make my ring or my little loop back, it's going to be fairly small and tight. So I'm just going to roll this back, keeping these down here, holding those beads kind of where they are, and then I'm rolling this back into a tight little loop. See that? And now this kind of stays. I mean, it's not, you know, it could flip, but it does stay pretty well. Trying to get that camera down there. Okay, so I've done that one. Now I'm going to do another one, just like it. So same exact thing. This little guy on, this little guy, and really, I mean, the way that the leaves are shaped, you know, or turned doesn't, I mean, it really does not matter all that much, to be honest with you. But you can do it however you want to. Okay, so here's my next little link. And again, I'm just going to do the same thing. I am bending this 90 degrees right above the bead. You just have to be careful not to crack your bead when you bend the thing, but if you're careful, you'll do fine with it. And then I'm going to roll this loop back, a tight loop, so that there's not a lot of room for anybody to move around, okay? Well, this one I didn't get as tight as the other one, so let me see if I can roll that a little tighter. Okay, so here's what we've got. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to hook it together, and I'm going to grab a head pin. Okay, so you may need some head pins, but shouldn't need too many. And I'm going to take, and I'm going to hook this together right here with my jump ring. Alright, so I've got this 8mm jump ring, and I'm going to put this one on, and then I'm going to put this one on. Just close it up like that. Okay, so there's what I've got. Now I'm going to take this little guy, I'm going to hang him right on this head pin. If he'll go, I have to get a ball head pin. No, he'll go. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to, do I want to put another one? I think I do want to put this little guy on here too, so it, oh, don't tell me he won't fit. Yeah, he does. Had to kind of force him, but he fits. Okay, so I'm going to bend this 90 degrees. I'm going to make a loop, just like I've been doing. Just roll the loop back here. And that's kind of long, but I want it to be, because I want it to hang down just a little. If you don't want that little neck there, you can, you know, you don't have to do it that way. You can roll it, your loop closer, but I wanted it there that way. I want it to hang down a little. I'm just going to close this up. And here's what we've got. So you can flip these. I mean, you could wear it whichever way you want to, actually, but I like this transparent side showing, so that's the way I'm going to do it. Okay, so we've got it just like this. Now, I really should try to turn those, shouldn't I, a little bit, so that this is going to, yeah, I'm going to turn this just a little, just this, so that it will stay straight up and down there. There we go. Okay, that's better. Alright, so here's what we've got. Here's our little focal piece. Now, I want to bead, and I'm going to make some links here, okay, using these and the bead caps. So I've got my eye pins, and what I'm going to do is just, I'm going to do a little fire polish bead, a bead cap, a lava bead, another bead cap, and another fire polish bead. Get on there. Where's your hole? There we go. Okay, so I'm just making some little links just like this, and that's just for decorative purposes. It's just a design element. You don't have to, and actually if you wanted to, we could do it this way. I could do bead cap back to back with this bead cap, and then put this lava bead on, put this bead cap on, and then put this guy on, and it would be a little bit of a longer link. So I think I might do it that way. I kind of like that, the way that looks. Just like that. Okay, So I'm just going to bend it 90 degrees, trim that up just a little, and we're going to roll this right back for our loop. Okay, so I'm going to hook this onto this. Do I want to do it with the jump rings? I think I do. I just like the decorative look of the shiny, these jump rings. So I'm just going to hook it together with that. And a lot of times that keeps things from getting kind of bound up anyway and twisted up and stuff. If you use the jump rings in between them, you don't have to. You can definitely just link them together, but I kind of like to use the jump rings. Okay, so we're going to create another one for this side and 2 for this side. So do 2 more just like this and hook them on. 1 for this side, actually 3 more. 1 for this side and 2 for this side, and come right on back. Okay, so I've got this put together, and I'm realizing that, number one, I don't like the way that this is looking here in the middle, because I've got these 2 leaves coming up here and these 2 coming down here. I need to reverse that. So here's what I'm gonna do. And I had 1 lava bead left from this, and I think I want to put one of the lava beads on this dangle down. Okay, so I'm going to reverse this. Is that right? No. Okay, so if I reverse this, okay, I got to think about this a second. This is what I want. No, that's not what I want either. I don't like that either. Do I want to just make them all hang down? Maybe I do. I just don't like the way the middle's looking. It's bothering me. Okay, so let's take this apart. So this is what happens when you design on the fly. You may not like the way something turns out, and if you don't, you can take it apart. That's the good thing about it. So I am going to take this one apart. I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to get a ball head pin. Do I have any copper ball head pins? Very few. Okay. Alright, so I think this is what I want to do here. I don't like the way these are looking. I'm not sure why, I just don't. So we're going to change them. And the good thing is, with jewelry making, you can take it apart if you don't like it. Just pull it apart. You may waste a couple of eye pins, but in the long run, I think it's worth it to have your piece like you want it. Why is he stuck on that? Get down off of there. You're stuck. Why are you stuck on there? There we go. Okay. I think it's worth it to have the piece that you want, you know, and not, if you don't like the way something looks, then change it up. So I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this. And I wanted, yeah, I like that much better, because I wanted to pull this brown down in here. So, okay, this time, I'm just going to roll back a loop like we did before. Okay. And now, I've got to kind of decide what I want to do with these middle. I definitely want these on here, but I want them, I think I'm going to do them this way. I think I like that better. Yeah, I do like that much better. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my head pin, and I'm going to do my little 4mm, then this leaf, then my little 4mm, this leaf. Yeah, I like the way that looks a lot better. I don't know, the other way just didn't look right to me for some reason. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with our loop. Only you don't have to worry about it being really tight this time. I mean, you can make it tight, but you don't have to worry too much about that, because they're just going to hang down now. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. Sometimes a design doesn't work out. When it doesn't, just redo it. Okay, this one on. There we go. That looks much better. I don't know if I will keep this set or not. I don't. I've actually been looking for a chocolate brown shirt for ages. I can't seem to find one anywhere that I like. And if I did find one, this would be really pretty with it, but I don't know that I'm going to find one. Okay. I've looked all over Amazon. I've looked everywhere. Just can't find one that, I don't know. I'm super picky about clothes anyway because I just feel like things fit me weird. So, I don't know. I just haven't been able to find one. That's all I know to say. Okay. All right, let's go with this now. We've got this little jump ring. Just gonna hang him right on it. And then I'm gonna put these together with it. Yeah, this looks much better, I think, than what I had going on there. That just looked awkward. Yeah, this is pretty. Okay. Yep, the ideas that I have in my head don't always pan out onto the bead board, bead mat. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Alright, so there we have that. Whoops. And here's what we've got. And I do like that way, way better. It looks much more natural. Okay. Now, I'm going to hook these guys on. So I wanted something kind of just statement-ish, if that makes sense. And I like these rings. I thought these looked really pretty with this. So I'm flipping them all the same direction because they kind of have an up and a down. And I'm going to hook them together with these 10mm jump rings. And we'll see how that looks. So let's put him back up there. All right. So just going to hook these together with the jump rings. I'm going to put this one right on here. Okay. And it's just another design element is all. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't have to do it. I like, I've been doing a lot of like more dainty things, so I kind of thought something statement a little bit bigger would be nice for this one. I'm just going to put this one right on here. So Sam's Bead Box, if you have not checked it out, just let me say, I have had, I've made amazing amounts of jewelry out of his boxes lately. And this particular box, I challenged myself to do sets. So I have made, this is set number 6 out of this box. That's a lot of beads in a box, guys. I mean, 6 sets of jewelry in one box, out of one box. That's pretty impressive for Sam. I mean, it's a great, he's got a great value in this box. So I'll have a link in the description box below for him, his box, and if you, I do have a coupon code for $5 off your first box. If you want to subscribe, it is Wendy, just plain old Wendy, and that'll get you $5 off of your first month's box. So here we have it. And yeah, I like that. So now that we've done this, we're going to hook some chain on. And you just need to hold this up on yourself and kind of decide how long you want it to be. I've been making my necklaces a lot shorter lately for some reason. I don't even know why. And so I think I'm just going to go about 5 or 6 inches for the chain. Yeah, I'm going to do about 5 inches on either side for the chain. And again, it's personal preference. You can do it however you want. Make it long, make it short. Everybody likes different things. There's the garbage man outside. he is picking up. And here in Deltona, I've never lived anywhere before where they take like anything you set out. But you can set like your whole living room furniture outside and they'll take it. It's just amazing. So we are actually having to take apart. It's weird. I've never seen one before like this, but we have our house, we have a cage. That's what they have here in Florida. They're called cages. And it's basically just a gigantic screened-in room on the back of your house, screened-in porch. And we have a pool, an above-ground pool in the cage. So I've never seen that before. I've always seen in-ground pools in cages or above-ground pools outside of cages, but never really an above-ground pool in a cage. Well, this house has the above-ground pool in the cage. It was like that when we got it. And it, okay, so we're just going to hook on our lobster and our ring for our lobster to clasp onto. And I do need to make sure that I got this even. I think I have one extra link up here. But anyway, when we bought the house, we realized that the pool had some issues, and we didn't realize that until after we had already bid on the house. So we made it through last summer with this pool, but this summer we're having to replace it because like all of the walls are rusted and it's just a mess. So we're taking the whole thing apart, and we've got like all these pool parts sitting out there, and the trash people, they just take them. It's like big posts and stuff, and they just take all of it. It's amazing. Alright, so we'll put our lobster on, just like this. And our necklace is done. So here it is. I like how it turned out. Like I like it better than I would have if I'd have left the leaves all weird on there. So there we have that. Now I'll put these all in a form at the end so you can see them, but let's go ahead and do the bracelet really quick. The bracelet's fairly simple too. It's really just the same pattern as the necklace. So I'm going to do the leaves the same. Okay. So let me get my little 2, 3, I need 6 of these. Okay, there they are. Let's move everything else out of the way. Let me go ahead and do these 2 little links, just like we did with the necklace. So there's the 4mm. I kind of want to get them to where they're, yeah, see how they kind of face each other. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Oh, that one's upside down. Okay, problem. There we go. So this one, oh, that one's upside down too. Okay. Those 2 go like that. And will these 2 do it? Yeah, they go like that. Okay, got it. That shouldn't have been that hard, really. I made that harder than it should have been. Okay. And we're going to go in here. And we're just going to make a loop. Roll this back. Okay. And one more. And roll this one back. Okay, I'm going to hook them together with one of the smaller jump rings. Just like this. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing that I did up on the top. I'm running out of these bead caps. I thought I had more, but I don't seem to. So, actually, I'm going to make sure I don't have more. Hold on. Okay, so I have more of those specific bead caps, but I do have some that are very, very similar here. And we're going to use them because that's all I've got. So here's what we're going to do. Same thing we did on the necklace is we're going to do 4mm bead cap, lava bead, bead cap, bead cap, lava bead, bead cap, and 4mm. So there it is. It's basically, they're just not scalloped on the edges, but they're the same thing other than that. So I'm going to use them because that's all I've got. That's literally all I've got that will work. All right, I'm going to roll this back. Just like that. And I'm going to hook them together with, what did I use? The smaller ones. Yeah, the 8mm. I've got a tremendous amount of stuff laying out on this bead mat right now. I'm usually not this unorganized with my stuff, but I've had 2 or 3 different projects going on all at the same time. So it's like, it's all just kind of out here, and I'm going to have to get myself together today and get some of this stuff put away because it drives me crazy. I'm like so OCD, and I make the most horrendous messes when I'm creating things. Like I've been doing a bunch of resin and glass and shell stuff, and oh my goodness, it's a horrendous mess when I do that. I make a horrible mess. And so then I am done, you know, and I have to, with resin especially, you can't really clean up right away because you have to let the resin harden to get it off of your, you know, cups that you use and your little pokey tools and all that. So I have to usually wait till the next morning after everything hardens to clean it up. So I come in the next morning and it's like an overwhelming mess, and I just feel like so overwhelmed. So yeah, I'm bad about that. Like I make a mess when I create, and then I feel just totally overwhelmed if I don't clean it up right away because it just makes a huge mess in here. And right now it's a huge mess in here everywhere. But I've made like 6 different resin and seashell and glass artworks. So, I mean, I have got a lot done. It's just been a messy process. Okay, so here's my bracelet. And again, my short little wrist. I'm just going to use one of these on either side because if I do the double thing, it's going to be way too long. Okay, so let's put this, we're just going to put it on like we did the other ones. I could have, I guess, just done one little link in the middle, but I don't know. I kind of like that. I think it's pretty. So we'll go ahead and just do our bigger links. Just one of each. And then I'm just going to hook my clasps directly on here. Just like this. And actually this guy can clasp, he could clasp directly onto this if I need him to. So let me see how long it's going to be once I put the lobster on. Lobster on there with the jump ring. So let me see. Yeah, he's definitely just going to have to clasp to himself for me because it'll be way too long if I don't. So we'll clasp it up just like that. And there we have our little bracelet to match our little necklace. Now, I do wish I had another one of these little, but I don't. So we're just going to go with it like it is. I still think it's cute. So, like I said, you could wear it this way, or you could turn it over and wear the transparent side showing. Either way. Now, let's do some earrings. Okay, these earrings are easy as well. Let's pull all this over here. So I've got one of the big hoops. I do have enough bead caps for this one. A couple of those, a couple of these, a couple of these, and my little whatchamajiggies there. Ear hooks. Ear fish hook. No. Lever backs. Okay, so my conundrum here was how to do the leaves on here. The only two leaves I have are these two, so they're going to have to both hang the same direction, which I don't really like, but it's okay. It'll be okay. But my thing is, how am I going to hang them? Because I don't know if they'll fit on one of these. If they'll fit on one of these, that would be fantastic. Let's see. Don't think they will. No, it's too thick of a gauge. And these are smaller, but they're going to be too small. You need large, thin gauge jump rings if you want to hang these bracelet style things on jump rings. So let me see if I have any others that are thinner. I don't think I do, but I'm going to look. I could use wire. I just really hate using wire. I don't have to. Yeah, I don't think these, are these the same as these? I think these are the same as those, so those aren't going to work. Alright, so what we will have to do, let's look here, what can we do? So my original intent was kind of to do this type of thing here, and then dangle this at the bottom, and then hook these on up here. And can I do that? I could go try to find some wire, or I could use some bead stringing wire. This is why I hate bracelets. I just really do. Hate bracelet drilled things, but this would work actually if we wanted to use some bead stringing wire. This is a copper bead stringing wire. Do I have some crimps? Actually, I do. Okay, we may do this. This may be what we do. So if you have soft flex, let me see if I have a soft flex that'll match. Actually, this is more of a bronze, isn't it? Where's the color? Antique brass. Yeah, I don't know about that. That one might. No, I think I'm just going to go with the regular. Okay, so I just have a little piece of bead stringing wire. This is actually left over from something I did earlier, but I think it'll work for this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my little whatcha-jiggy on here. Leaf. I'm having a hard time with my words today, you guys. Really a hard time. Okay, I'm gonna cut this wire about in half here. Now, I can leave it like this and just crimp it and have it a dangling, or I don't know if both of these wires will fit through this. Let me see if they'll fit through here. Well, they do. Okay, so I could put him on here. Straighten up on there now, don't be. Okay, so I could do that. I may just do this, we'll see. Put my bead cap on, my lava bead on. My other bead cap, yeah, I'm not going to have enough room to do this, what I'm thinking here. And then my bead, I don't have enough room to make a loop is the problem. I don't think. Oh, for heaven's sakes, go in there. Go in there. There we go. So, I don't really have enough to make a loop. I could just crimp it, but then I'm not going to have anything to hang it by. That is kind of pretty though, isn't it? I could get another piece. Alright, let's do it. Do I have any more of this? I do, I think. Is this it? Yeah, okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab some bead stringing wire. This one's definitely designed on the fly. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to cut a piece about 6 inches here. And I'm just going to do the same thing that I just did. So I'm going to put this leaf through. I'm going to even up the ends here. And I'm going to do the 4mm because I really did like the way that looked. If I can find the holes, I will. Goodness. Where are you? There we go. So that's how the design on the fly kind of works with me. I just try a couple things sometimes. Sometimes things work out on the first try, and a lot of times they don't. So, alright, and then we're going to put this one on. And if you had a pretty soft flex color that would match what you're doing, this would be really pretty with that too, but I don't have a soft flex color that really looks good with this, I don't think. That reddish one was kind of okay, but I don't know. Alright. And then we'll go here. Alright, so that is cute. So all I'm going to do is take my crimp bead, put it over both wires, or crimp tube. I'm going to come back through. I don't think I can get back through that 4mm bead with both of these. Doubt it, doubt it, doubt it. Well, maybe I can. I can. Wow. Okay, well that's good because that makes it look a lot better. Okay. And then it looks like we're coming out down here with both strands. Now what I'm going to do is just pull them down. And you just kind of have to adjust this. So I want both of those to be even and not looped weird like that. So I'm just going to grab it, pull on down, slowly and gently is the key. Because you want it to be even all over like this. So you just have to kind of slowly and gently, because you don't want this loop to be too big either, you know. I want it to be smaller, but I want it to all be evened up. Okay, so I'm pulling down. Now that, to me, looks pretty darn good. So I'm going to take my crimper, and I'm going to firmly crimp down this back crimp tube. And then I'm going to turn it sideways, and I am going to close it up. And there we have a perfect little crimp. We've made a cute little component here. Oh yeah, that's super cute. Okay, now let's see if I can do it again. That's the question. And I did cut off too much wire last time, but I want to make sure I had enough because I save all the little bits of it and use it for other things. Okay, so there's that. That's really cute. Same thing over here. Little leaf on. We'll go both wires through this 4mm bead. Whoops. So I was telling you guys about the pool. The funny thing is, all we really needed for this pool, we bought a new pump last year because the pump went out. All we needed was the walls, like the metal walls, and a liner. We already had like all these posts and everything, basically. But no pool company would sell us just walls and a liner. Not even the company that, we can't even find the company that this pool was, I mean, this pool's old, you guys. But, so Chris was so aggravated. He's like, I hate to have to replace, these are perfectly good posts. I mean, he was going on. And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know what to say, you know, what to tell you. We've got kids coming in May, and we need to get this done. So, know, Rachel and her mom and our new grandbaby are coming in May, and I really want the pool to be ready when they come, because it's, I mean, it's going to be 86 here today. It gets hot in Florida. So, you know, it's, if you don't have a pool and you live in Florida, then it's hard. A pool is really, it's kind of almost a necessity here because it is so hot. But yeah, so we're having to, and the pool is huge too. It's like a 15 by 30. It's one of the biggest above ground pools I've ever seen. And we're like, yeah, we don't need to go this big. Let's downsize. So we're going to downsize way, way, way down into like a 15 round, which will be a heck of a lot smaller, but it'll be kind of cool because this one we've got right now is a 15 by 30 oval. So when we take it out, we're going to have all this extra space that we can landscape out there. And Chris is talking about maybe building a deck eventually. Oh, shoot, I didn't put the current bead on, did I? I knew something looked different. Building a deck eventually out there, but we're going to landscape around it. And I think that'll be pretty to put like some palms in there and just be really pretty. So that's the plan. I mean, we won't get all that done before people come in June, but we might get hopefully the pool operational. And then the deck, we may end up having to do that next year, but I just love being out there. So it's really worth investing in that area out there, I think. In Florida, a lot of people, I mean, if you have, most everybody has an outside screened in area somewhere, and if you don't, a lot of people use their garages. So they'll buy these things that go over the garage door that's like a big screen, and you'll see people sitting out in their garages, and you know, they almost make it like an extra outside room. It's pretty cool. I love Florida, I gotta say. I think that it is my favorite place I've ever lived. I've lived in California, Virginia, Ohio, West Virginia, North Carolina. I think that's it, and Florida. And Florida's my favorite so far. It's just awesome. Love it. Okay. That's why it was so easy to do a minute ago, because I did not have my crimp bead on here. But you just want to get these pulled down evenly as best you can. Like this. Just kind of pull them together. Make sure this looks good. Make sure it's pretty much even with your other one. Okay, we're looking good. So I'm going to take my crimper. Crimp these down. Turn sideways. Close that up. And cut it. There we have it, set number 6 out of Sam's bead box. It's turning out really cute. Okay, so I am going to take my jump ring, and I'm going to hang this right on here. Nothing fancy. Now these might be a little bit longer than some of you prefer, but it is kind of a statement necklace a little bit, so you can shorten them if you want, or don't put the big rings on if you don't want to. This is how I'm doing it. I like bigger jewelry. Okay, and then we're gonna hook these on with these guys. So always get confused with lever backs. It looks like that the fat part should be in the front, but it's not. The thin part actually goes in the front. And we're gonna, oh, I didn't need to open both of those. I guess I did. I had to put that on there, but then I gotta close it up, don't I? Make sure this is facing the front. It doesn't really, well, I guess it does matter with these, like if you want the transparent part to show in the front, which is what I do, then I've got to flip it. There we go. So the necklace and bracelet are kind of reversible. The earrings really aren't, unless you wanted to somehow put them on an ear wire that you could change that out. I don't know. I don't think I would worry too much about that. I think, you know, wouldn't be that noticeable, but that's just me. If you're one of those people that every teeny weeny detail matters to you, and I am that way in a lot of ways, just not necessarily this way, but then you can definitely use a different type of ear wire, or I don't know, make it to where it spins around or something. I don't know how to do that, but there's probably a way. I can't get this on here. Did I not open it far enough? I did not. I'm always afraid I'm going to break these because they just don't look like they should bend, but they do. And let's see. I think if I go this way, will that do it right? Yeah, okay. So here we have it. Make sure you get your little loops closed up really good on these. Very cute though. So there's our earrings. Here's our necklace. And our bracelet. Okay, so let me stick them on a form over here and I'll be right back to show them to you. Alright, so here we are in the light box. Here is our earrings. Our necklace, or our bracelet. Let's see if I can hold this. Here's the bracelet. And the necklace. And I think it turned out great. So this is set number 6 from Sam's Bead Box Anniversary Edition for March 2023. And I think I'm going to get one more set out of this box, so 7 sets out of this box by the end of it. So stay tuned. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I upload the rest of this series. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.